Hello, Fabulous Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of March 2013. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. The first part of the month, what I am seeing is in some way it has to do with kids, it has to do with children. For those Scorpios out there who do have children, you're going to find that you're sort of changing your approach, you're figuring out how it is that you're going to set your routines and go about your business as you provide for your children, care for your children. For those of you who don't have children and want them, it does look like you're very likely interacting with experts that can help you along that path. It does look very likely that you are considering your options, and it is a time of consideration. It isn't necessarily a time, especially right in the beginning, for you to actually take any big, bold steps. But the steps do become a little bit more clear, especially once we get you to the middle of the month and a little bit beyond that as well. But what I think is most important for you this month, what I think is most encouraging, takes place right around the middle of the month. And it is this very important conversation taking place between Saturn, currently in your sign, and Pluto. So both of these planets are what we call in mutual reception. So they're in each other's sign, encouraging an understanding of between these two different energies that is ultimately very positive. So they're working together, these different areas of the sky. And also, they're in a conversation that is very harmonious as well. And it is in the middle of March that this conversation reaches another exact point. So you had one of these exact points. If you consider and look back at what was taking place in December, now you're going to find those themes that came up then are going to take another step forward. Now, I started off by talking about kids because when I think about children, I think about this idea of actually being a grown-up, right? In order to care for another, we hope that in order to care for another being, right, that we are in a place of maturity, that we are grown up enough in order to be able to do that. And the reason that I wanted to start there and took a very literal approach to that is because this conversation taking place between Saturn and Pluto does suggest another level of growing up. It does suggest a deeper level of taking a mature approach to many areas of your life. Now, with children, as I said, many of you are going to be experiencing themes around that. For those of you who don't have kids and are not interested in kids necessarily, you're going to find that some baby of a project asks for a lot of your attention. In fact, I'm seeing it asks for a lot of your revision and refinements. And so you're busy doing that. But it really is once we get you into the middle of the month and this conversation reaches another exact point, that you start to understand the consequence of what you have been doing, especially in the first part of the month, and where it is that you desire to go, the work that has been taking place, how it is setting a foundation to your future results. The thing is, because this is such a harmonious conversation, and this is a conversation that does speak to you feeling a sense of control, you feeling like you can take action on your own behalf or take action to move yourself forward. And as a result of that action, you're bringing forward things in yourself that you really like, talent, skills, ability. You're developing yourself as well in ways that you like. But through this all, the main overriding theme through all of this is that you have an understanding that this is part of building a secure and strong future for yourself. Now, those of you born right at the end of October around Halloween, and especially in the first couple of days of November, are going to experience this omen most strongly, most all-encompassingly. But those of you who are in other parts of the sky, other parts of Scorpio, still will experience this energy, absolutely, just in varying degrees and in different subtleties with different nuances. But for all that, Scorpios out there are growing up. You are certainly in a phase, and I have been talking about that you're in a phase of developing maturity. It's that this month, that understanding reaches a high point. That understanding reaches a place where you get that in order to really take a mature approach to life, it does involve a certain amount of ownership for what it is that you desire to experience, what it is that you desire to reap, what it is that you desire to build. And it does involve a certain focus on doing your best right now with where you are. Doing your best in this moment so that you set yourself up nicely for the next moment and then the next and the next. A lot of you are going to glimpse these lessons initially where it comes to having to deal with children or issues around children, or it comes to having to deal with a project that matters to you, that feels very close to the heart. But it really isn't until later in the month that you feel like you found a groove. Once you find that groove and you realize just how capable you are, really a plan for the future, just about any kind of future that you can imagine, feels a lot more easier to achieve. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.